Hi folks, Alex Jones here with some important information. I want to tell you about Matt Redhawk and his team of patriots over at My Patriot Supply. Several years ago, Matt was sitting in his two-bedroom apartment, frustrated with the direction this country was headed and the charlatans willing to sell us out for a quick buck. Deciding to take action, a company run by patriots for patriots was born. My Patriot Supply has never taken a loan or accepted outside funding. They now operate 2 distribution facilities and employ over 50 hardworking American men and women. It is rare to find companies who practice what they preach. And that's why I stock my pantry with high-quality storable foods from My Patriot Supply. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/Alex today for special offers on emergency food storage or call their preparedness specialist at 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Do business with someone who shares your values. mypatriotsupply.com/Alex. The globalists have controlled the mainstream media for a long time, but now they're expanding and making the weaponization even more vicious and deceptive. All the major networks are state-run.
We are partnering this year with the NFL.
The NFL has become a political weapon against the Second Amendment and pushes Obamacare. MSNBC tells us that our children belong to the state.
We have to break through our kind of private idea that kids belong to their parents or kids belong to their families and recognize that kids belong to whole communities.
It is more important than ever to realize that we are not the alternative media. We are the true media. The establishment dinosaur press is dying.
We are in an information war, and we are losing that war.
Join us at InfoWarsNews.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. Members can share their memberships with up to 11 people. By subscribing, you will literally be buying war bonds in the info war to expand our operation in the face of the tyrants. Join us at PrisonPlanet.tv.
This is Scottish John for Infowars.com. I know that most of you here in this commercial already know about the New World Order, eugenics, and all the other issues covered here at Infowars. The question is, do your friends and family know? If not, then I want to know why. Oh, I know it's tough to talk about this with some people. They might call you names, or they just want to talk about sports or soap operas. I say, so what? There's a battle going on out there right now. The ammunition is information, and the soldiers are you. It's time to transform your game from passive listener to active participant. We from Scotland have had our skin in this game for the greater part of the last 1,000 years, and I'm still fighting. If we don't all stand up right now, we're going to lose everything. The InfoWar is worldwide. Tell your friends about InfoWars and let them know that InfoWars doesn't print bull. It's real journalism and news backed up by documented fact. Step up and take your friends and family to Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.tv and PlanetInfowars.com. The truth will set them free.
Defending the Republic from enemies, foreign and domestic. It's Alex Jones.
Waging war on corruption. Crashing through the lies and disinformation. Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Central, 2 p.m. Central. Nightly news, 7 o'clock weeknights. Man, my voice is so shot. People would kill for a voice that sounds like this. And I would kill to not have my voice be like this. It gets a little old when a waiter comes over and you sound like a cross between Darth Vader and Clint Eastwood when you're ordering a drink or something. I got to go get my larynx looked at. Okay, there is so much to go over here, ladies and gentlemen. Elliot Rodger had a autism spectrum disorder. And if you know folks that have Asperger's, it's real. They're like robots. They're highly intelligent, but they are like robots, at least part of their personality. And when they shift into the robot phase, it's like you're not even talking to a person. And a lot of the shooters are Asperger's with shoot-'em-up games, which is now coming out. This guy was a video game head. They're trying to cover up which ones because it's a $30, $40 billion a year industry and growing, just the shoot-'em-up games. Getting bigger than Hollywood itself, by the way. Under psychiatric care since age 8, quote, being given treatment. And again, the treatment for Asperger's is psychotropics, antipsychotics, the same type of drugs that they give people for things like what they call bipolar. See, so much of the public is acting like schizophrenics now and have personality disorders and borderline personality disorder, which you can give them labels. They're real. But more and more of the public is completely out of their mind. And that's done because the brain has been rewired from birth, sitting in front of a television. That's on record. The wireless pollution, the chemicals, the biologicals, the GMOs that cause all sorts of mental illness and genetic mutations in the brain of lab animals. This is all happening with us. It's not just pediatric cancers up 10,000%. It's not just diabetes up type 2, 3,000%. In Hispanics, it's more than that. They estimate by 2025, half the U.S. will have diabetes, type 1 or 2. By 2025, that's only like 10 years away now, 11 years away. And that something like 75% or 80% of Hispanics will have it. And no one asks, why is this happening to Hispanics? Well, if you're Hispanic and have a lot of native blood, indigenous blood, those populations didn't eat sugar, folks, in high amounts, processed sugar, and they certainly didn't drink processed alcohol. And that's why it's a genetic fact. They would call me being discriminatory to state a fact that Indians, as they were known, back when folks thought this was India, 550-something years ago when they discovered the, quote, New World, that if you sold some whiskey to the Indians, a bunch of them would end up drinking themselves to death. Europeans, thousands of years of saving the grain they produced as alcohol through the winter, a completely alcoholic society. And all the studies are there that Europeans can drink more than anybody else. They got livers that can handle it because everybody died who couldn't. Just like Europeans can handle smallpox, because smallpox has been in the old world for at least 10,000 years. They can dig up the bodies and see it. It was never here until Christopher Columbus showed up 500 plus years ago. See, I'm not supposed to even have a scientific discussion here of fact and tell Hispanics how to not get their legs sawed off. I drive by the bus stops every day. In fact, I want to do a report on this and blow their faces, and I see the Hispanics with their legs chopped off, young and old. It's a genocide. And I want to go warn them, but the Southern Poverty Law Center, CNN, would say I was racist. If I warned them that, hey, you can't drink alcohol and you can't drink aspartame, that's wood alcohol, it will kill you. And you certainly can't eat processed foods. It will hit you a lot harder. Europeans have had a much more horrible diet for a long time than pretty much anybody else. Europeans come from the Ice Age, ladies and gentlemen, and a totally different developmental cycle. But the BBC says, I can't even say the word girl or I will be arrested. And people won't believe that. Guys, type in BBC presenter arrested for using the word homosexual. I had Robin Page on 10 years ago when this happened, and then he got so threatened by police when he came on, he wouldn't come back on. Robin Page was at a rural affairs meeting, and he said, we deserve the same rights as rural communities as homosexuals and Muslims. And he was arrested and basically lost his job. One man and his dog. He would walk from pub to pub drinking beer and talking about cool rural areas all over the Britannic Isles. Well, the reason I mention that, and it's all going to tie together, is that political correctness now means you don't communicate on anything. You only repeat the provided message of the establishment. You only say what they say, and then you're politically safe, and you'll be secure in the fold with the niche you've been put in. This is called cult programming. And here is a great example today. Now, remember 2 weeks ago, they said that you can't have fiesta parties at universities nationwide. If one person complains, they're banned. Well, if somebody complained about the Klan on campus, they shouldn't be able to stop them. Because, not that we like the Klan, but because we don't want to lose our rights, correct? The free expression as real liberals. More freedom, not less. because it's hurtful if somebody has a fiesta party. By the way, I was invited a few weeks ago to a pool party at a big condo, and guess what, folks? We happen to have a fiesta party with chicken and fajitas cooked on the grill, and people are drinking tequila margaritas. Do you know who was out there at the same pool party? There were middle-class Mexicans, because a ton of those folks that moved up here because Mexico's so dangerous, they were all wearing little sombreros on their heads instead of a little party. And they were having a fiesta party, too, because they were racist.
So you were basically at a Klan rally?
Well, I mean, we had the same idea to eat fajitas, and people were having margaritas because we were racist. It's not that we liked the food or the that culture. But these Mexicans, because we ended up partying with them some, they spoke pretty good English. These guys and their senoritas, and we were all all of us kind of had a party, and it was because we were racist. Killing 1 million Iraqis isn't racist in the Iraq War. Putting cancer viruses in vaccines, shooting black people up with syphilis, that's not racist. Aborting 52% of blacks in this country before they're born, that's not racist. What's racist is, or sexist, is if somebody on a bunch of drugs and psychiatric care who's mentally ill goes out and shoots people because he was obsessed with girls, classic Asperger's, be obsessed with something, and then throw a fit if they can't control it. It's our fault, not just if you're white, if you're black, Hispanic, Asian. John, it's your fault. So do you want to take blame right now for the killings in California, John Brown?
I might as well. I was at a pool party myself a couple of weeks ago, and there was a guy with a sombrero on, and the guy next to him said, "You better take that off."
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yep. It's rampant. The conditioning is rampant.
Well, I want you to apologize right now because you're a male and you're white, doubly. Do you want to apologize for the deaths in California?
I just want to apologize for California for being so plastic.
But, I mean, think about the mind control. This is done on purpose. This isn't political correctness out of control. Here's the headline. BBC mauled for ruling girl is offensive word. Member of Parliament leads growing outcry as political correct censorship expands. BBC cut the G word from a repeat of the Commonwealth Games documentary because the guy goes, "Oh my gosh, I got beat by a girl." Everything is offensive. Fiesta parties. Government-run colleges say you will not be a geisha girl. You will not be a cowboy. No stereotypes. You will not be an Indian. You will be nothing. See, this is about them having the authority over everything. And now in Europe passing laws where you're arrested if you use the word girl or homosexual. There's no law saying those are illegal words, but they put spies in London restaurants and in Sheffield restaurants. It's in the news. Look it up. Spying to hear if someone says a word that's wrong, and they arrest you. This is just training you that you're disappeared. You want to put 20% of children under the age of 17 down to age 2 on antipsychotics, psychotropics, and speed that brain damages them? That's fine. You want to engage in every obscenity out there and have breast cancer exploding everywhere with glyphosates in the entire water supply that literally on record they admit grows the tumor. There's no discussion of getting glyphosates out. It's just fine to cure. Not why are our women all dying? No, just see, because, well, we'll have a race. We'll give some money to the cancer institutes and groups that are openly covering up the fact this is an engineered program. And we'll all just go along with the social engineering and feel good about ourselves. And again, they've said, how dare anyone own guns? They've had fathers come out repeating what the media is saying, the talking point of how dare you gun owners, you craven cowards. You caused all the death. You did it, the NRA, and you gun owners. When is this going to stop? We cannot have one more person die. Close quote. Remember, the father said that Sunday. And I feel sorry for him. But you know what? I didn't have anything to do with your son's death. And my guns protect me and my family, just like cars kill hundreds of thousands. I mean, we can't have one more death on the highways. It's so terrible. You craven car owners, we must